Hello everybody, welcome back to Planet X News. This is Scott from the Nibiru channel. Hey, listen, ladies and gentlemen, it seems that we have a situation brewing here worldwide with the current earthquake situation. And I'm pretty sure if a lot of you are keeping up on this information, I know Dutch Sense has been reporting on what is occurring. I haven't had a chance to listen to him. We have a very, very intense situation right now with earthquakes all over the planet. Now, the actual magnitude of these earthquakes is rather concerning. And these patterns, let's just take a look at some of these. 3 hours ago in Argentina, magnitude 5. 114 kilometers deep. 2 hours, Chile, magnitude 4.5, 100 kilometers deep. A magnitude 5.6 in Peru, depth 41 kilometers. 34 minutes ago, magnitude 4.7, 121 kilometers deep. 7 hours ago, magnitude 4.7, 49 kilometers deep. Ladies and gentlemen, you can clearly see this pattern of these earthquakes along the western coast of South America. Something very strange and very odd, once again, is seeing an earthquake in the South African region, in the country of Botswana. Magnitude 4.8, shallow, USGS feed, 10 kilometers deep. But that's very odd. When you start having these earthquakes in the lower tip of the African continent, it is definitely an eye-opener. Moving on to what's going on in California. 20 minutes ago, magnitude 3.93. Ladies and gentlemen, I can guarantee you that earthquake was probably larger than what they're reporting right there with this magnitude 3.93. There's been a lot of activity brewing in California over the period of the last several days. Now, we did have some solar wind coming in, and we're going to take a look at that also. But we're actually past the solar wind. But like we've said before, and like the doctor has explained, even though the solar wind, as they call it, passes by the impact, it usually takes 2 to 3 days till the Earth actually really feels it. And then we see the increase in the earthquake activity. That's why they have the earthquake watches during these solar wind situations and these events. Some will say the sun has absolutely nothing to do with earthquake activity. The science proves that wrong. Just the statistics alone proves that wrong. But we're not here to debate that. We're here to take a look at the current situation around the world. There have been some pretty big earthquakes over the last 24 hours. We'll see if they have them all listed here. Magnitude 3.9, 4.7, 4.8, 4.5, 5.0, 5.6, 4.7, 4.5. And I was looking at this, probably 12 hours ago, and there was a lot more here from the day before. But when I see a situation, let's get out of here. When I see a situation like this, this is very, very concerning. On top of all of this, with this type of earthquake situation, and I don't have the weather map up here, but there is a lot of weather pouring through this area, and also in South America. Those heavy rains loosens the ground, and this type of shaking, well, I would say probably within the next several hours, at least going into tomorrow morning, we'll probably start getting some damage reports on what has occurred in this swarm of earthquakes. And these are large earthquakes. And there is a fault line not too far on this side of South America. So it's going to be very interesting to watch and see what is happening. If any of you have not had the chance to watch the video that I just uploaded, we think we captured another object, well, actually two objects. One of them actually making a plasma connection with the sun, and the other smaller one, once again, passing right through the corona on the left-hand side of the sun. You know, once again, folks, you know, we go over the information, we make the discoveries. It's definitely time to truly believe that there's something going on with our Earth and our sun and in our inner solar systems. It's definitely something that we're going to have to keep our eye on. But as you can see, current situation with the earthquakes, not good. I haven't even checked on volcanic activity because really haven't had the time. I've been very busy. We're still editing the book. The doctor has finished everything, but you know, first time in my life ever editing a book, and hers also. And the process is time consuming, but the book will be available and up on Amazon and available in the Kindle edition first, probably within the next 72 hours. So we can see exactly what's going on. There were more earthquakes. I'm looking at the European model. There were more earthquakes right here, as you can see, all along the western coast of South America. There's been a lot of earthquake activity once again in Mexico, all along their western border. Here's your magnitude 6.2. That was definitely a doozy. But, you know, I was taking a look at the magnetopause and the solar wind models. You know, they all look pretty normal. You know, a little bit of flexing in the magnetopause position, but, you know, nothing that is really major. But we have a lot of earthquake activity, quite a bit, and they're getting bigger. And with all of the activity that I've seen over the past 5 days in Southern California, several miles south of LA, it just reminded me of an article and a statement made by the USGS. I believe it was in the beginning of this year, or maybe towards the end of 2016, warning people, once again, that the possibilities of a magnitude 7.9 occurring southeast of Los Angeles, California. Pretty populated area. A 7.9 magnitude earthquake in that area would be absolutely devastating. The possibilities are there. Will the current situation that we're going through right now be the catalyst? Only time will tell, folks. Only time will tell. I don't see anything abnormal in the solar wind. It's just relatively moderate or normal. But again, they could be, you know, just putting normal looking models in here for us to look at, and we really don't know. Now, we're going to take a quick look at the solar wind predictor, and I'm going to show you what came in. Now, we're already into the 12th, but you could see the impact right here. And it was, it was decently intense. Right here where you see the word Earth, right up here, you could see the plasma density was fairly high as it passed by, and then it drops off very quickly. And then the velocity and the speed comes behind it. And you could see there's going to be a steady rise, but they don't have that predicted until the 13th, peaking out at the 14th, and then decreasing on the 15th, but then a pretty sharp rise once again on the 17th. So if you move the model all the way and get to the 17th, you see another wave up here. They would consider that a glancing blow. But folks, this many days out, all of this can change in a heartbeat. But this earthquake situation, I don't know. This concerns me. This concerns me deeply to see what's happening here. And let's not forget about what's happening up in Yellowstone. Now, there's been a lot of activity in Yellowstone. It's not appearing on this map. But just north of Yellowstone and north of Helena, you have, again, an earthquake swarm up here. There was a swarm up there around Lincoln, Montana. It's a magnitude 3, only 13.5 kilometers deep. But this situation that's brewing in California right now, multiple quakes right along the San Andreas Fault, getting down into the LA area. You could see a small swarm of earthquakes here on the California-Mexican border. They're not real big, but they're swarming. A fresh earthquake there 10 minutes ago, magnitude 1.73. Now, these are not that big. Small earthquakes. But there's been a lot more activity down here that's not on this map. This concerns me a little bit right here because they've been having the earthquake swarms once again around the Mammoth Lake region, and here we have, right outside of Bridgeport, magnitude 3.93. Very shallow. 9.83 kilometers. So probably within the next 8 to 12 hours, I would definitely expect to see this map change, and not for the good. Not for the good. Anyways, folks, if you haven't watched the video that I posted about the Planet X plasma connection to the sun, I would definitely check that out. Tomorrow we're going to have a live stream with the doctor. She's going to explain a lot about the photographs that I captured about 4 or 5 hours ago. And, the imaging wasn't all that great. So I actually had to take a lot of time to really bring out the definition so you can see it clearly, or at least try to see it clearly on a video. But what I did want to share with you real quick, we designed the front cover of the book and I don't know what just happened to it. But I wanted to show you the front cover. It's pretty neat. And my computer is running very, very slow. I wanted to run over this European model also. I did show you. But we forgot to go over what's going on in Europe. And you could see there's a pretty nice little earthquake swarm right there. And that's a rather large area. Moving down into Turkey and Greece once again. And you could see a straight line of earthquakes right up through central Italy to the northern tier. And a lonely little 2.3 right off the coast of southern Portugal. So the earthquakes are definitely popping all around the world. No doubt about that. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you the front cover of the book. And I've actually decided myself today that I've been through some pretty wild times investigating Planet X, and I decided today that I'm going to write my own book. I'm going to try to get it done, well, let's just say in about 4 to 5 weeks. You know, I have so much documentation over the course of the last 12 months. And I think I'm going to publicize what I've discovered. And I think I'm also going to publicize what I've been through. Because that is just as interesting. For the last year, there have been a lot of people trying to intimidate me, discourage me, and just plain flat out trying to get me to shut up, go away. But that's not going to happen because I truly know what's going on, what's out there, some of what's out there. Well, I definitely don't have all of the answers. But in order to get all of the answers, you have to keep plugging away. If you just lay down and roll over and let them steamroll right over you, you will never find the truth. Then you'll never be able to prepare for anything because you won't know what's happening. So I decided today that I'm going to sit down and I'm going to try to knock out 2 chapters a day. And I'm going to show all of the documentation that I've acquired over the course of the last year. From July of 2016 to where I'm at right now. And I'm going to publish that book. For the whole damn world to read and see for themselves. Because I truly know that myself and the doctor, we are definitely being censored on YouTube. There's just no doubt about it. I was watching something over the course of the last 2 weeks, and I was looking at, you know, all of these Planet X videos that are coming out. And these are from relatively just regular, everyday, run-of-the-mill people, not with a branded, you know, a branded YouTube channel, just basically their name. And they're uploading videos, you know, that were basically hijacked from other channels that produced them, oh, maybe like a year ago. So they're basically putting old videos up out there. I saw one today, and it wasn't even clickbait in the title. It had been up on YouTube for 24 hours and received 559,000 views in 24 hours. Let me repeat that. 559,000 views. Over 500,000 views in 24 hours. The little YouTube channel had 12 subscribers. So I started looking around and noticing that I'm seeing more and more of this. But see, these channels, they're not targeted. They're not labeled. They're not censored. So therefore, if somebody just pops out of the woodwork with their, their little personal YouTube channel, they throw up some videos about, Bible prophecy, Planet X, Nibiru, Wormwood, throw some tags in there. The next thing you know, they're getting 500,000 views. So we know for a fact that YouTube is definitely censoring a lot of these channels that have been reporting on this subject matter for more than a year. So they've keyed in on them. But these newer channels are popping up all over the place. And they're actually using old, very old, outdated material hijacked from other YouTube channels that have actually, done the work. But it's good to see the word out there. But that just shows you the censorship. That right there shows you what they're doing. They'll catch on probably sooner than later. And then they'll find those view counts dropping into the depths of hell. So, I don't see any censoring with my book. I don't see any censoring with the doctor's book. And as soon as possible, we're going to be arranging the public speaking engagements along with her book. And by then, I will have mine completed and published. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're definitely, hovering over some very trying times. There's no doubt I can feel it. So many people have different viewpoints on what is occurring. That's fine. But when each and every day, you're bringing very, very credible finds into what you're observing, that should be opening up your eyes. It definitely opens up my eyes when I find it. And I've been finding a lot of it lately. But as you can see, earthquake activity definitely on the rise. Not only on the rise, but bigger, stronger earthquakes. Very interesting. Let's see what's happening over here in the live chat. Yeah, I'm already having earthquake situations with the internet activity here once again. As soon as we start having the earthquake activity, the solar wind, my internet service goes to shit. But it's been a very long day, folks. Myself and the doctor, we've been up since about 4:30 this morning with the editing process, editing this book, and it's just been Been a very stressful day, a lot of work. I don't know what's more work, you know, writing the book or editing it. I was trying to get the pop-up chat to pop up, but once again, internet problems. You could see the feed, the strength over here in the orange when it should be green. Try this once again. We finally figured out what that crazy video from the International Space Station. Finally figured out what that was all about. That was kind of freaky to see those types of experiments. I've never heard of you know, these astronauts trying to make these plasma bubbles in space. It was kind of interesting. How am I doing tonight? Everybody asks. Very, very tired. I've been up since about 4 a.m. And again, like I said, we've been working very, very diligently with the editing process. You know, first time you sit down in your life and you know, you write a book, and now all of a sudden you have to proofread it, edit it. And, you know, Amazon makes it pretty easy to write and publish a book. But, you know, you have to use their template, their platform, and that's where we had a bunch of adjustments that had to be made. But once that's all done, it should go pretty smooth. But definitely a situation rising, folks, with the earthquakes around the globe. But I thought I would just go ahead and jump on here for a few minutes, show you the new book cover, let you know what's going on. Myself and the doctor plan on having a live stream tomorrow. We're going to go over a lot of the information that we've acquired today. And we're also going to touch a little bit more on some of this Bible prophecy. I find it very interesting, and I find a tremendous amount of correlation with everything that's happening. That's enough to make you lose sleep right there. The whole Bible prophecy and what's actually occurring. And if you have time to sit down and think about it and put it together, you start to have some of those moments where you just go, look at that. Very, very interesting. But this is not going to be a live, a long live stream, folks. I'm extremely tired, and I just have a feeling waking up first thing tomorrow morning, there's going to be a whole hell of a lot more to report on. But listen, folks, if you guys have not watched that video that I just posted, check it out. It's both on the Planet X News channel and the Nibiru channel. I could see my signal strength is going up and down. So, folks, listen, I'm going to cut this live feed off right now. Get some rest. All of you, thank you very much for hanging out with me for this 30 minutes. And stay tuned. There will be more to come from Planet X News and the Nibiru channel. Take care, guys.